Hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock, and it's also very late, and I'm at the commune where we have our Nutella baths. It's like a Nutella bathhouse. So I have to keep a little bit quiet because everybody's sleeping now. They've all had their hot Nutella baths, and that just takes everything out of you. As I was telling you yesterday, it completely cleanses you from the soul out to the body and removes all impurities and leaves you with like this airy, sleepy feeling. I'm quite used to it now, so I don't actually fall asleep. And it travels right into rum o'clock well, I find. A nice combination, Nutella and rum. Perfect combination, if you ask me. Uh, I've been getting a lot of letters about the Edmonton Oilers and Eberle. And what are the Oilers going to do with Eberle? What are they going to do? Tons and tons of letters. So I better get to it, I figure. Oh, by the way, this commune is up in Yellowknife. It's where I met Shemaiah Beavertooth, my now again spiritual advisor, whom I fired before because I went into a bad run where I basically was running about 27% on my picks. And then I found out that she doesn't even know what the picks are all about and really doesn't affect them. So I brought her back again because I like um, loads and loads of hot Nutella all over my body, and she does too. So, good spiritual advisor to have. All right, okay. So, what do we do with Eberle? Well, they got the one option is you hope that he's a late bloomer and he's going to keep on moving because he has got the tools for sure, the speed and everything. The only thing that Eberle needs to learn how to do is get into the corners and get into the paint in front of the net. This does not mean he has to sit there and bang and crash. It's not his nature. But he has to find a way to use his skill to get in there. I don't know if he's afraid. I think what a lot of times players do is with skill like level that he has, is that coming at a junior, they were able to survive that way. And it's ingrained in them to be able to play the perimeter. And they just built their game on that. And some players take a lot longer to get out of that. Brett Hall actually was a good example of that. And there are other players that have early on in their career had this problem, but got out of it. If you remember Brett Hall when Dallas won the cup against Buffalo, he scored and it was a big controversy because his foot was in the paint. So it was actually, I believe, Mike Keenan that beat the crap out of him to get this out of here, and that's what you need to do with Eberle. I put a Twitter. I tweeted out there that what they should do is take Eberle and put him in the corner in front of the net and just hit him every once in a while. He can't leave there in practice. He has to stand there, and then somebody just go over and smoke him, smoke him, smoke him in front of the net too, smoke him till he realizes it ain't that bad. And just to get him and to remind him that this is where you need to be sometimes. You're never going to be a guy like Lucic, who I think still should be more than what he is physically now because his skating is sliding and stuff. But anyways, I'll get into that some other time. I think you can work with it and hope that heck that happens. Your other option, of course, is to trade him, but you're trading low. You're trading at a time when he's probably not going to be you're not going to get much return. Now, I was conversing with a couple of my Twitter friends, and one thing that was brought up, and I think this could possibly bring somewhat of a decent return if you do this, is trade him with Vegas. Now, they don't have any players yet, but they're going to be bringing in a lot of, 30-ish defensemen, 30-year-old defensemen, or at least they're going to be out there. And what you can do is say, here's a couple guys that we would consider taking from you, and you can have I think Eberle is 25, 26, somebody, I don't do research. But he's a younger player who still has a lot of potential. And even if he doesn't, can give you 50, 60 points at a pretty pricey cost of 6 million. But we'll take back some salary from these defensemen that are probably not going to help you down the road anyways. At 30 years old, they're probably not in the age range that you're going to need when you're competitive. So you could maybe get an experienced defenseman, which they need still, I believe, and you might even be able to get a experienced right winger out of it or something of that nature. But trying to trade him to established teams right now, you're not going to get all that much. You like somebody like the Islanders, you might be able to work some sort of deal out, but honestly, the Islanders are not going to want to give up too much. They might think that Tavares can bring out the best of Eberle and give you some value. More than likely, they wouldn't want to give you much more than draft picks, and the Oilers don't need draft picks at the time. Another team possible would be Nashville, mostly because Nashville plays the type of game that would be perfect for Eberle. And that leads me to the next problem with Eberle with the Oilers, and actually with the Oilers in general. They try to cycle way too much for the speed that they have. They try to play along the boards, and they tried to play along the boards against Anaheim, and that was their demise. Nashville is playing so far for the first game I've seen. They're playing Anaheim perfect. You want to play Anaheim in the middle of the ice as much as possible. Go into the corner, get the puck out of the corner as fast as possible, which is what Eberle needs to work on, and he has the tools to do. If he wants to see a guy that he can emulate and watch tape of, watch Arvidsson. Arvidsson is almost like a carbon copy of Eberle in a lot of ways. He had a fairly difficult time of it early in his career because he had to learn how to get in the corner and out quick, because he's not going to be able to beat anybody there. And he has learned how to do it, and he's learned how to do it well. Eberle needs to learn that part of his game, or he's going to be stuck where he is and probably won't even be in the league in a couple years. I can't do. Can I say I believe in him? I think he can. But the main thing is does McLennan believe in him? And if he does, Eberle won't be going anywhere. If he doesn't, he probably will. And I would say Vegas would be a very good option for them to get at least some return. You're probably not going to get the value you need from a guy who's making $6 million a year and playing on your second and first line right winger, but you'll get something. And if you don't think Eberle is going to get better, it's only going to get worse. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please go to my other videos that I've done. I have one there I predict the conference finals here that you should be able to find pretty fast. I also did one on Sidney Crosby and other questions that people have asked me on my Q&As. Check them out. Please subscribe. So subscribing helps me. The more subscribers I get, the more my videos are shown at the top of the pages on YouTube, and the more people get this wonderful NHL enlightenment that falls around them and gives them such purpose in their life. You know what I'm talking about. Have a great day, everyone. Lots of love to ya.